And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
And what a beautiful sight I've just seen.
And yeah, it's Champions League and you know what we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight. And don't be down and don't be such a mess. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
Against all the odds. Celebrations out of the pitch.
So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
Celebrations out of the pitch.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Cymru Premier coverage here. Today we have the New Saints visiting second bottom of the league, Haverfordwest, away down in South Wales. It's been a very wet afternoon so far, but the weather has just cleared up and hoping for a very good game of football. TNS have been on a fantastic run ever since the Britain Ferry defeat in the first game of the season. They have now won 11 games on the bounce in all competitions and 9 in a row in the league, whereas Haverfordwest have won 2 of their last 5 but still sit on just 12 points at the second bottom of the league, just in front of Llanelli Town. In terms of the New Saints, Ben Wilson, the record signing, is still sidelined with an injury. However, Jordan Williams is still firing, the top goal scorer in the Cymru Premier with 12 goals. He's 3 ahead of second place, Elliot Reeves. However, Haverfordwest's top goal scorer, Ben Armoon, today is on the bench, as it just looks like they've gone for a more defensive shape to keep the league leaders at bay. And just to bring you the team sheets, the home side first is number 31, Luke Rees in goal. Number 2, Dylan Rees and captain for today. Number 3, Reese Abrizezi. Number 4, Elliot Scotcher. Number 5, Alaric Jones. Number 8, Corey Shepherd. Number 10, Dan Hawkins. Number 11, Paul Makwinamiti. Number 14, Luke Owen. Number 18, Greg Walters. Number 20, Owen Jones. And their substitutes are the number 1, Ethan Knott, number 15, Tom Shepherd, number 19, Kyle Kenneford, number 21, Ashley Watkins, number 24, Iori Humphreys, number 28, as mentioned, Ben Armand, the top scorer for today's side, and number 34, Dylan Maguire. And now I can just bring you the New Saints lineup. Number 1, as usual, is Nathan Shepherd in goal. Number 4, Dominic Cornus. Number 6, Jack Bodenham. Number 8, Ryan Brobble. Number 10, and captain for today, Danny Redmond. Number 14, Dan Williams. Number 16, Harrison Mackay. Number 17, and top goal scorer in the Cymru Premier, Jordan Williams. Number 19, Ben Clark. Number 22, Danny Davis. And number 37, Isaac Jeffries. On the bench is number 38, young goalkeeper Bryn Owen. Number 3, Jordan Marshall returning from an injury. Number 11, Adrian Sislovich. Number 12, Harvey Godsmark Ford. Got his first goal for the club a couple of weeks back in the Welsh Cup against Mould. Number 24, Jack Nadine. Number 77, Adam Wilson. And number 39, young 17-year-old Lewis Wynn makes his way onto the bench for the New Saints. But as we're just saying this now, we're just about to get kick-off underway here. Could be TNS to take kick-off for this first half. Jordan Williams standing over it. Again, just to see the shape of TNS, they're still deploying Dan Williams in that right-back role, with Dan Williams playing in... Dan Davis, playing out on the left. Been a lot of injury problems this season for TNS at full-back. I mean, Harvey Godsmark Ford fill in there, he got injured. Leo Smith, obviously, with a horrible injury in the European campaign while playing right back. It's been a bit of a cursed position. Now that I say that, former Bluebird, Haverfordwest right back Jacob Owen, who signed for the New Saints over the summer, is now injured, so he won't be playing right back. So Dan Williams, the natural central midfielder, continues to keep his place at right back. But how, with Jack Bodenham on the ball coming out from the back for the New Saints, plays it back to Davis to Mackay. Mackay plays it out to right back Dan Williams, switches it back over to Jack Bodenham. Bodenham plays it through to Danny Redmond, who gets a first-hand ball down the wing looking for Isaac Jeffries, but it is cleared by Elliot Scotcher. And now have West come forward, but they're giving the ball away. Dominic Cornus with the interception, out to Danny Davis at left back. Davis forced backwards behind the halfway line to Bodenham. Bodenham plays a 1-2 with Mackay. Now it's with skipper Danny Redmond. Back to Mackay, Dan Williams. Williams being held up by Dan Hawkins. He comes inside past Walters, plays a lovely ball down the wing to Ben Clark, who's made a good run from midfield. He hits the byline now, clips it into the back post. Not the best of clearances from the captain for today, Dylan Rees, but it's back out onto the left wing now with Ryan Brobble with his first touches of the game. Being tracked by Mackwell and Mitty, gets it back to Jeffries. Jeffries to Redmond. Redmond puts a deep cross into the back post, cleared by Dan Hawkins, onto Walters now. His touch is poor though, 50-50 with Dan Williams, but Walters comes out better and Dan Hawkins can clear the ball eventually. Played down to Owain Jones, but Mackay tracks him all the way and gets it back to his goalkeeper, Nathan Shepherd. Bodenham to Cornus. He's over the halfway line to Redmond. Redmond to Davis. Davis back to Bodenham. Now with Mackay. Bodenham. Redmond outside the boot. Down the wing to Davis. He's found him, but it's intercepted well by Elliot Scotcher. He sees it out. It looks like he's put it out for a throw, and he has. So it'll be a throw in on the left wing area for the New Saints. Now it's with Redmond. Redmond gives the ball away though, but only temporarily, as Bodenham will recover possession for the Tins. Now it's with Harrison Mackay. Williams back to Mackay. It's patient from TNS so far. They kept the ball in the opening couple of minutes here. Kept it well. Redmond tries to slot through ball down to the overlapping Danny Davis. He's found him as well. Davis gets his shot across goal, but can't get a enough conviction on the shot with his weaker left foot, and it rolls out. It looks like it's gone out for a throw-in, actually. Danny won't be best pleased with that. So Reece Abruzzese will take this throw-in. Right in the corner flag for Haverfordwest. So Abruzzese's throw-in, flicked on by Walters. Macromitty will clear it, but there's no one there on the halfway line. That's probably where they'd have Ben Armand normally to try and collect those balls, the big centre forward, the number 28 for Haverfordwest. Scored 5 goals in the Current Premier so far this season, which is good for a team that have been lacking goals. And so to have your top scorer on the bench is a bit of a confusing one. I know that Flint Town also did it when they visited TNS a month or so ago. Now the ball's with corners. Corners to Harrison McGuire. It's good feet from Owen Jones to come away with it on the right wing area for Haverford, but he's forced back by the TNS captain. Now Corey Shepherd. Shepherd all the way back to Dylan Reese. Reese is forced back to his goalkeeper, Lewis Reese. Gets it on to number 5, Alaric Jones. Gives the ball away though. Jordan Williams is in an offside position. So it's lucky from Haverfordwest. Just a little tackle from, I think it was Ben Clark on Jones. But Jordan Williams is in an offside position as he went to receive the ball. So stays in the goalkeeper's hands. And it's cleared by Reese. Maguire heads it down. Loose ball's picked up by Abruzzese. Got 2 green and white shirts around him. Gets it on to Dan Hawkins. Hawkins with a lovely ball. Looks like he was offside though, Shepherd. It's unlucky from Haverfordwest. Such inventive play from Dan Hawkins. And that's the real danger man for Haverfordwest, you'd have to say. The number 10, small, diminutive, but he makes things happen. He can create space for himself, and he's a very good with that reverse through ball, like we've just seen there towards Corey Shepherd. But unfortunately the number 8 found himself in an offside position. Just over 5 minutes gone here. It's in Haverfordwest, and it's currently 0-0. As Maguire gets it onto Brobble. Back to his goalkeeper Shepherd. Bothernham out to Maguire, who's just picked up in the right back slot as he drives forward with the ball. You don't see Harrison Maguire come across the halfway line too often. Onto Dan Williams, and the centre half continues his overlap and run, but Williams cuts inside instead, puts it into the back post. It was a really good ball from Dan Williams on his weaker left foot, but there was just nobody there to just get that final touch. Now Jones plays it out to Abruzzese. Abruzzese, his clearance is blocked by Williams, but Dan Hawkins picks it up. Looked like he'd handballed it, and he has. There's a lot of accidental handballs in football, but you can't bounce it like a basketball, unfortunately, so it will be a free kick on the halfway line to the New Saints. And as I mentioned just before, the TNS are on a really good run at the moment. 11 games on the spin without drawing or defeat. So they are playing, you'd have to say, back at their best. At this point in the season, they've got a 9-point gap already as we have just hit the first day of November in the Cymru Premier. And it was a massive, massive, massive win 2 weeks ago against Penabont at home. A 6-2 victory. Jordan Williams grabbing a hat-trick in that game was massive. It was a much-needed win as well. So the 2 games they've played against second in the league, they've won 8-2 on aggregate, which is very impressive. As Bont has normally been a team to really push TNS. They beat them a couple of times last year as well. Now Bothernham's coming over the halfway line with the ball. Plays a through ball looking for Redmond. It's eventually found the captain. Gets it into Jordan Williams' feet on the edge of the box. Swarmed by blue shirts. Skips past Shepherd, being held up by Dylan Reese. It's eventually cleared by the Bluebirds, but the ball's picked up by Jack Bothernham on the halfway line. Back to Brobble. Brobble drops his shoulder to get past Macro and Mitty. Good skill from the number 8. And Macro and Mitty was just pulling on Brobble's shirt there as the foul's been given. TNS take that free kick quickly though. Now it's with Bothernham just over the centre circle here in the Haverfordwest half. Back to Dominic Corners. Corners plays the 1-2. Bodden, I think he just had a half thought about the shot there from 30 yards out, but instead the ball is played forward to Dan Williams. Headers originally cleared by Dan Hawkins, but it's still bouncing around in the box. Greg Walters picks the ball up, tries to get it clear. It bounces off his own man, Corey Shepherd. Now it's back in possession with the New Saints. It's Jack Bodden coming forward with the ball. So good at stepping out from the back, Jack Bodden. Very confident on the ball, the central defender, as the ball's with Danny Redmond, but he gives the ball away to Corey Shepherd. It's played forward, and there could be a bit of a counter-attack on here for the Bluebirds. Played down the line, looking for Owen Jones, being held up by Danny Davis. Plays it against the TNS left-back. Gets it into midfield for Corey Shepherd. Shepherd, lovely grass cutter to get it across the pitch. Crossed in by Abrazazi. Bounces to Greg Walters on the edge of the box. Still got it as we're in the byline. Plays it against Dominic Cornish, who manages to clear it just the edge of the box now. Abrazazi brings it down. Looked like he was fouled. Referee says no, though, to the dismay of the home fans. Corey Shepherd will continue possession for the Bluebirds, though, as he comes forward. Forced to go behind, though, to his captain, Reese. Reese's clip ball looking for Greg Walters. His first-time header is a bit behind Hawkins. Hawkins tried to keep it in, but it was poor from Walters. Goes out for a TNS throw, and that is the end of the home side attack. But it was very positive from Haverfordwest. No, I don't think their league position really shows what side they are. They have a disappointing season so far, and it's not the position that many of Cymru Premier followers would have had them in. I know they had lost a couple of players over the summer, I know, including Jacob Owen. I know the goalkeeper, the two centre-halves and the right-back left in the summer, so obviously you lose 4 of your back 5, and it's always difficult to recover from that, but they're still dangerous side. Players like Dan Hawkins, Greg Walters, experience in midfield, Ben Armand normally when he's starting. I think Abrazazi is a very, very good left-back as well. Extremely attacking, but as we say this now, the ball's played through to Ryan Ball. What a pass that is from Dan Williams, but it's brilliant recovery from Jones. It looks like he's put it out for a throw-in just next to the corner flag. He has. It was a really good recovery challenge from the central defender, but the ball's into Dan Williams, gets it across the pitch, and Jones is there again to clear it, but this time for a corner, the first TNS corner of the game here as we just creep into the 11th minute. So it'll be the left foot of corners to put an in-swinging corner. A lot of big men. You don't think is with TNS, they don't score many goals from these corners. It's probably the one place they don't score many goals from is set pieces. But now I've said that, ball's put into the front post. It looks like something off the training ground as Redmond flicks it on, but it's with Clark from distance, shoots, but it's never troubling the goalkeeper. It looked like something from the training ground. Corners played it across the floor to the front post, and Redmond had to flick it on first time into the 6-yard box, but it was cleared by Haverfordwest, as we can just see the replay here. Yeah, it's definitely something they've practiced on the training ground, but the home side did well to read it before the final touch. Now Dylan Reese clears it up the pitch looking for Owen Jones, but Jack Bodenham had seen that all the way, and then Danny Davis volleys it back across the pitch to Cornus. Cornus tries to go direct here with a long ball, but it's been held up and goes straight through to Lewis Reese. He takes that quickly by throwing it out to Abrazazi. Clips it down the line in the direction of Dan Hawkins, but he puts way too much on it, and Nathan Sheffield will sweep up and just play it calmly back to his centre-back, Harrison Mackay. So Mackay into Dan Williams, just tucked into midfield here temporarily as Ben Clark's gone out to right back. Long ball over the top, looking for the run of corners from Mackay, being held up by Greg Walters. Lovely little back heel to get it down the wing to Jordan Williams now. Got 2 blue shirts around him. Little pirouette to get away from Walters again. Keeps possession with Ben Clark now coming towards the Haverfordwest box. Reverse pass from him into Isaac Jeffries. Now it's with Dan Williams. Williams tries to play it into the box. Could go anywhere, but eventually it's cleared by Mackwell Amiti. Jack Bodenham will sweep up though for the New Saints and get the attack going again with Redmond on the halfway line. Now over to Dan Williams, who looks like he's just tucked into midfield here. But not sure if this is a tactical change. Now you can just see he's dropped back into right back now. Dan Williams, as saying, because he's not playing in his natural position, it means it's a positive though that he can drift into the midfield and just cause a few more issues on the overload for Haverfordwest. Now it's with Ben Clark. Clark into Williams. Clark to Jeffries. Jeffries first time out to Williams. Williams has a 1-2 with Jeffries. Been trapped by Dylan Rees though. Looked like it had gone out for a goal kick, and it does. It was good defending from the Haverfordwest captain. So, goal kick here for Haverfordwest. Greg Walters tries to flick it on, but Dan Williams, despite the height difference, gets there first. Shepherd goes back to Jones. Jones falls back to his goalkeeper, who's then forced to pump it clear due to the press from Ryan Brobble, and Danny Davis will pick up the loose ball. Keeps it with Brobble. Bothernham to Magai. Redmond clips the ball over the top, looking for Brobble. Macrolimiti's there first. Davis heads it back down to Brobble. Macrolimiti, you can just see there's a couple of times now when Brobble's managed to get a yard on him. Macrolimiti's just tugging on his shirt a little bit. The referee gave the first one, doesn't see the second one, but now Magai's driving forward again with the ball. Harrison Magai continues to drive forward. He's turned into a right winger, but Greg Walters gets in front of him and holds him off well, and it'll dribble out for a goal kick. But that's the second time now we've seen in this opening quarter of an hour Harrison Magai push forward from central defence. Again, another centre half who's very confident with the ball at his feet and has no problem carrying it forward, as we've seen here so far. But I think it's more because of the shape of the Haverfordwest midfield is allowing a little bit of space for the centre half to drive forward from TNS. Just see Luke Owen is more drifting out to the right. Dan Hawkins is more playing as a second centre forward, really, alongside Owen Jones. So you've got your flat back four. Macrolimiti's kind of been everywhere. They've got a few free roaming midfielders, Haverfordwest, which works well on the attack, but when it comes to the transition, which TNS is so good at breaking quickly, you can just see the space in midfield. And you just see here now, there's such a gap in midfield. It's just Greg Walters is marking two of them there. He's following, looks like he's more man-marking Dominic Corners, but it leaves a space here for Ben Clark, who's just dropped in on the shoulder of Corey Shepherd, who's got back now. But there's going to be space in the midfield, and I think TNS will look to exploit that as we continue in this game if they don't fix that problem. Bothernham now. Redmonds. Back to Bothernham. Inside to Brobble again, who's just drifted into the central midfield role. Tries to play a ball over the top towards Ben Clark, but way too much power on it, and it goes through to Lewis Rees, who rolls it out to his captain, Dylan Rees. Shepherd falls back to the goalkeeper again, who takes a touch, plays it short to Abrizezi. It's a bit of a hospital pass, but the left back does well. Into Walters now. Walters hasn't really got much options on, sticks it through Clark's legs. Lovely play from the number 18. And lets Abrizezi clear up to the halfway line. Bothernham's all over Owen Jones. Into Corey Shepherd. Shepherd into the midfield for Walters. Walters to Dan Hawkins, who's a danger man for Haverfordwest. He looks to drive forward. Got a lot of green and white shirts around him, but he does well to beat two of them. And the pass is just intercepted by Harrison Magai. But again, Dan Hawkins causes a lot of problems with his close control. You see it again there. TNS get the ball away as well in the transition. Dylan Rees will intercept for the home side. Now it's with Corey Shepherd on the halfway line. Walters, first time forward to his captain, who has a little bit of space now to come into. You see Luke Owens in there. He puts it into the box instead, and Dan Hawkins is jumping to get across from it. There's an appeal for half appeal for a penalty, but the referee's not interested, and I think it's rolled out for a goal kick. It has. Yeah, I can see now the two things I'm seeing is Macrolimiti has been asked to man-mark Ryan Brobble, and Greg Walters is man-marking Dominic Corners. That is what I'm gathering here, because Macrolimiti's dropped into left back here as Brobble's just taking him around the pitch. As Bothernham drives forward now. Redmonds to Williams. Williams to Ben Clark. Clark, lovely through ball to Dominic Corners, who manages to lose his man here. Gets it into the edge of the box now. Danny Davis tries to get onto it. The loose ball's picked up by Ben Clark. Back to Corners. Corners reverse pass on to Ben Clark. Ben Clark back to Corners. Flips it over the top, looking for Ryan Brobble's run, but Makarami gets in front of him. Looks like Brobble kept it in, though. Referee says no, it's gone out for a goal kick. Really good defending from Makarami in the end. But you can really see the game plan from Haverfordwest. They obviously want to isolate Ryan Brobble and Dominic Cornish, just to stop them two from really making a difference in this game. We know that Ryan Brobble has that game-changing ability in the final third, as he hit his 100th goal in the Cymru Premier last week against Llanelli. And Cornish is just that quiet midfielder, a little bit like a Pirlo sort of player, who just keeps the game ticking, controls the possession. Looks like it was a TNS ball on the halfway line, it is. Yeah, Cornish is the one now that will just keep the game ticking if he can get into it. So tasking Greg Walters, who's got plenty of experience at this level, just to try and man-mark the former Liverpool Academy player out of the game. But I can just see, I think, Dominic Cornish has played through here, but it's just, sorry, it was just a bit of, again, just a little bit too much on it. I think the ball's skidding off the surface well because of the rain previously in the day. It's moving a little bit faster, and it'll go back through to the goalkeeper. You see Ryan Brobble is just trying to take Makarami around the pitch, just to open up space for his teammates, and I think he's a very intelligent footballer, Brobble, and I think that's what he's going to aim to do. Heavy touch from Ben Clark, but it's brought back for the previous challenge on Danny Redmond, so it'll be a free kick on the halfway line for the New Saints. Redmond takes that quickly onto Bodenham. Bodenham forced back to the halfway line to Maguire. Maguire onto Dan Williams. That's with Cornish. Clark. Forward towards Dan Williams, who's ventured on from right back. Isaac Jeffries, big challenge from Jones. However, TNS still have the ball. Now Clark plays it forward, looking for Dan Williams, but Abrazezi's there first. Danny Redmond regains possession for his team, though, the skipper. Gets it onto Bodenham, just in front of the centre circle now in the Haverfordwest half. Plays it to Cornish. Cornish onto Redmond. Redmond switches it back to Bodenham. Again, he's just half thinking about the shot here. Puts it into the back post instead, but straight out for a goal kick. And you just see so far in the opening, just over 20 minutes of this game, you can just see TNS are kind of struggling really to break down this Haverfordwest defence. I think Makarami doing a good job on Ryan Brobble so far. But it just takes, as a lot of UTNS fans know, it just takes one lapse of concentration from an opposing defender for Ryan Brobble to take full advantage of it. Cornish wins the header from the goal kick onto Brobble. Brobble to Clark. Clark switches it, looking for Isaac Jeffries, brings it down on his chest. It's forced all the way back to Bodenham. Maguire coming forward with the ball onto Dan Williams. Williams back to Maguire. Maguire into the box for Jordan Williams. Good football from TNS. Clark slips. Greg Walters just got caught in possession there, but eventually the deflected cross goes through to the hands of his goalkeeper, and he clears it quickly and long, looking for Owain Jones, who nearly gets the ball down, but Cornish intercepts, and now TNS have regained possession once again here. Maguire to Clark. Clark out wide to Dan Williams. Williams to Maguire. Maguire plays it forward onto Ben Clark, whose touch is loose. Haverfordwest regain possession now. Back with their goalkeeper Lewis Rees, who clears it up to the halfway line. Redmond holds off Owen Jones, so it'll go straight through to Bodenham. Corners. Maguy into Jordan Williams' feet, who's just dropped deep to receive the ball. The top scorer in the league hasn't had much service as of yet in this opening 23 or 4 minutes so. Ben Clark now. Makarami with the interception from Brobble. I think he's just overran that a little bit. He has, and it goes out for a TNS throw-in just in front of the home side's dugout. So, played back by Corners. Ben Clark. Maguy. Maguy down the wing for Dan Williams, but his pass is loose. It's cleared by Scotcher. Out for a throw-in near the corner flag now. Again, Harrison Maguy pushing forward. That's 3 or 4 times now he's done that in this game. Just Haverfordwest allowing the TNS centre half space to drive forward with the ball and carry it, just to keep them pinned in their own half. Corners now. Bodenham. Redmond forward, looking for Brobble, who gets the ball, being held up by Makra and Mitty. Danny Davis, lovely fake shot to put it into the box, but it's headed away by Scotcher. Owen Jones, a lovely flick on header. Corey Shepherd's there, but Redmond, lovely recovery challenge to stop the Haverfordwest counter-attack before it could really get going, and he'll come forward with the ball again now for the New Saints, driving past Greg Walters, cleared by Makra and Mitty, but he kind of swipes out that clearance. I don't know if the referee's given a foul here or a throw-in, but either way, Greg Walters has stayed down from that heavy challenge from Redmond, as treatment will be sent on here. I think actually Greg Walters is going to be alright to get back to his feet without any treatment. He is. So it will be a throw-in on the far side for the New Saints. So Davis to Jordan Williams. Williams back to Davis. It's a good play from the two of them. Davis gets it into the box eventually. There's 3 TNS players in there. I think it was cleared by a Haverfordwest boot in the end. It was, and it'll go out for a corner kick here, the second one of the game for the New Saints. It's a lovely little 1-2 between Jordan Williams and Danny Davis. And the first cuts past his man, puts it into the box, and it is cleared by Dan Hawkins, number 10, getting back and doing his defensive duties for his team. But he's only managed to give away a corner. So Brobble's corner right onto the 6-yard box. It's bouncing free for Dan Williams to get a shot away, and he has scored. It is 1-0 to the New Saints. It's not the cleanest of strikes, but Dan Williams won't care one bit. TNS go 1-0 up from the stroke of the 27th minute here. Corner from Brobble. It looked like it had originally been cleared just away from the 6-yard box, and a bobbling ball back to Dan Williams to get his shot away. I don't think he catches it cleanly. It's Brobble, yeah, it's Brobble's corner, in-swinger. It's headed on by, looked like Bodenham actually. It drops to Dan Williams on the penalty spot and has to get his body back across the ball to swivel round onto it and hit it with his weaker left foot. But he won't care, and it is 1-0 to the New Saints. And Dan Williams actually, ironically, despite playing in a more defensive role than he has in the last season, has started the season really well with goals. I think, if I'm correct, that's the 3rd goal in the coming Premier. So, Brobble now, corners. It looks like a bit of a spring in the step of TNS, as they've finally broken the deadlock here just before the half-hour mark. So Redmond into Jordan Williams now. Williams will drive down the byline, try and put it box, bounces into Isaac Jeffries, is blocked by Macron and Mitty. That could have easily been a quick fire double for the New Saints if it wasn't for the number 11 of Haverfordwest. But they look like they're still pinned in the corner, cleared eventually by Scotcher. Redmond will hoof it back into the box. Clark tries to flick it into the path of Jordan Williams, but it's cleared by the Bluebirds. Lewis Reese out to Greg Walters, who just can't get there in time, and it'll go out for a throw-in for the New Saints. Fair to say, the opening goal wasn't the best goal that Dan Williams ever scored. It's a good finish though, but as you say here, Danny Davis is driving forward into the box. A lovely solo run here, gets his shot away, and it's a really good save from Lewis Reese, and he does really well to hold on to it as well. Brilliant run from the left back. But it's pumped forward by the goalkeeper. Harrison Maguire intercepts. But as I was saying, the goal was actually a really difficult finish on replay from Dan Williams. But the ball's through to Jordan Williams now. It's a great ball. Jordan Williams is in and he scores. It is 2-0 to the New Saints. It looked like a Danny Redmond through ball. It's such a good pass from Danny Redmond through to the top scorer. And the type of form and confidence that Jordan Williams has been in this season, there was no chance he's missing that one-on-one. And just like that, it's a quick-fire double in 3 minutes for the New Saints. I think it was Danny Redmond, the captain, who played the through ball. It was just through the halfway line. He sees the run of Jordan Williams, and it's such a good ball just in between the two Haverfordwest centre halves. And Jordan Williams doesn't even need to take a touch to slot it past Lewis Reese, and just like that, it is 2-0 to the New Saints. Jordan Williams with his 13th goal in the league this season, 14th in all competitions. The New Saints are flying half an hour in. I was just talking through the first goal as well, but we've got another one. It's such a good pass from Danny Redmond to see the run of Jordan Williams. And as I said, the form that he's in at the moment, there was no way he was going to miss that. Just having a little bit of a drinks break here between the two teams. I don't think it's hot enough for one, but so Danny Davis with a brand new pair of boots that I haven't seen before. He's not going to go missing in them, I'll say that. But we're just seeing a substitution here from Haverfordwest. Aori Humphreys is going to be coming on for the number 4 Scotcher. I'm not sure if that's a tactical change or an injury to Elliot Scotcher. I didn't see it, but either way, the number 24 Aori Humphreys has made his way onto the pitch. It looks like Dylan Reese is going to tuck into centre half with Humphreys playing as a right back. So Walters goes back to his goalkeeper. Reese is a heavy touch and eventually gives it away. Danny Redmond picks up the loose ball in midfield as he drives towards the box. Play through to Dan Williams. He's in for a second goal here, and it's a really good save from Lewis Reese to deny Dan Williams of his second goal from fullback. And you'd have to say, if that goes in, this game's dead and buried before the 35th minute mark. So Greg Walters now onto Hawkins. Plays it forward, but it's intercepted by Dan Williams. His touch is a little bit heavy, and it'll go out for a throw in on the halfway line to the home side. Abrazese into Owen Jones, who gives the ball away. Wins it back though. Brilliant determination from the striker for Haverfordwest. Hawkins now, but his pass is loose. Jordan Williams is onto it. You can see that Isaac Jeffries is free on the left wing. He finds him as well. The substitute Humphreys trying to hold him off. Isaac Jeffries cuts inside, gets his shot away. It's another good save from Lewis Reese. He's single-handedly keeping his tide in this game here. Bodenham dispossessed by Haverfordwest. It's a bad challenge from Danny Davis. I'd be surprised if he isn't booked here. Referee says no though. I think it's quite a cynical foul from Danny Davis to stop the counter-attack after the original mistake from Bodenham, but Haverfordwest take the free kick quickly. It's eventually cleared by the goalkeeper, straight through to the other goalkeeper, Shepherd, who hasn't had much to do, to be fair to him. Hasn't had to make a save yet, Nathan Shepherd, but he has to always stay alert. Now it's with Cornish. Cornish forward, looking for Redmond, but it's a bit in front of the captain. Now Reese to Shepherd. Shepherd onto Macaromitti, who I think has stopped his man marking job on Brobble now at 2-0 down. I think the tactics have slightly changed. Abrazese comes inside onto Dan Hawkins. Hawkins back to Abrazese. He plays it inside the midfield for Greg Walters. Got a man on there. Out to the left wing to Macaromitti, being held up by Dan Williams. Back to Greg Walters. Macaromitti back to Abrazese. He goes back inside to Macaromitti. It's probably the best spell of possession so far for Haverfordwest in this half. Back on the halfway line with the captain Reese. Corey Shepherd plays a long ball over the top, looking for Reese Abrazese, but he's put too much on it and it'll roll out for a TNS goal kick. But it's the best spell of possession that Haverfordwest have had, certainly in this opening 35 minutes. Just started to move the ball a little bit quicker than they have been. A little bit more urgency. Macaromitti pushing forward, but again now he's back onto the man marking job of Ryan Brobble. There's a long ball over the top, looking for Jordan Williams. Original header's won by Dylan Reese, second header won by Jones. Ryan Brobble tries to collect the ball in midfield, but he's giving it away there to Corey Shepherd. He goes out wide to Hawkins. Really good interception from Dan Williams, though, to read it. Now it's Ben Clark, who's forced back to Harrison Mackay. Mackay into midfield. Lovely pass from the centre-back to Corners. He spreads it out wide to Isaac Jeffries now. He wants to get his man one-on-one with Humphreys. Looks to beat him, gets his head down, but I think his touch is just too loose. It is heavy touch on the winger and it'll go out for a goal kick. Dylan Reese, the Haverfordwest captain, trying to step out from the back here, plays it onto the substitute Humphreys. And he's tackled by Isaac Jeffries, who did well to just track him from the left wing spot. Now it's with Redmond. That's with Harrison Mackay. Eventually the first pass was played to Bodds, who was putting his shin pad back in place, but he managed to get up in time to play the pass to his centre-half partner. Played forward to Cornus. Cornus spreads it out wide to Isaac Jeffries. He puts the ball into the box, headed away by Abrazese. Corey Shepherd, lovely skill to get away from two men now, and now it's a bit of a break for the home side. Macaromitti's trying to make a run down the wing, but it's settled onto Owen Jones in the other wing. Tries to cut it into Shepherd, but it's blocked well by Harrison Mackay, and it'll go out for a throw-in on the far side for Haverfordwest. I think that'll be the one thing that TNS have to be wary of, is the break from Haverfordwest. They've got pace in the front three. Luke Owen, who is just dropping in for this throw-in. The number 14 for Haverfordwest has struggled really to get into this game so far. Been a bit isolated as he puts a cross into the box. Looks like he's gone over everyone, but Dan Hawkins tries to get in front of Dan Williams. He's done him really well, and he puts Dan Williams on the floor there. Lovely from Dan Hawkins, but the cross isn't as good as the skill before it. And it's rolled out to Dan Williams. Williams up the line for the run of Jordan Williams. 50-50 between him and Jones. And Jones puts it out for a throw-in. Now it's back with Bodenham. Just under 38 minutes gone here, 7 minutes left of this first half. It's currently 2-0 to the New States, thanks to goals from Dan Williams and Jordan Williams. Now it's with Ben Clark. Corners. First time to Mackay. Mackay onto Jordan Williams, with a good tackle from Jones. And Walters plays it back to his goalkeeper. Back to Greg Walters, forward, looking for Dan Hawkins' run. Touch is poor from him, but he's fouled by Jordan Williams. I think Jordan just sat on him by accident, but it's a good handshake from the two players. It'll be a free kick just behind the halfway line for Haverfordwest. So Macron-Mitty in midfield now, onto Greg Walters. Walters, tackled by Dan Williams, who puts it out for a Haverfordwest throw-in. Abrazese forward to Corey Shepherd. His touch is poor though. Dan Williams more up rather than out, and Danny Davis heads it back to Nathan Shepherd, the goalkeeper. So Bodenham spreads it out wide to Isaac Jeffries. Jeffries, first touch away from Humphreys, and he's fouled on the way through, so it'll be a free kick. This time for TNS, just inside of the Haverfordwest half. Taken quickly by Jeffries onto Redmond. So now it's with Redmond again. Redmond to Corners. Corners to Ben Clark. Clark plays it to Redmond. Corey Shepherd tries to track it though. Harrison Maguire onto Redmond. Redmond switches it out to Bodenham. Bodenham tries to play it forward towards Ben Clark. The touch is poor from Dan Hawkins though. Greg Walters is in a little bit of trouble here. Slips in the box, but he still managed to keep the ball. He's got two green and white shirts on him, but Walters does well enough to clear it. Only as far as Dan Williams though. We will get the attack going again for the New Saints. Redmond forward to Dan Williams, back to Redmond. Redmond plays it, looking for the run of Isaac Jeffries, but the second ball's bounced to Jordan Williams, gets a shot away and deflects off Dylan Rees for another TNS corner. So now Ryan Brobble into the box, front post from him, headed away by Corey Shepherd. Looks like Isaac Jeffries will get on the second ball, he does. Now it's with Brobble. Plays it against Luke Owen, it goes out for another corner for the New Saints. 4 minutes of this first half remaining, yet to see how much added time there will be. I can't see there being much, we haven't seen many stoppages in this game as of now. So, Brobble's corner, flicked on, looked like there was a foul in the build-up though. It's given against Danny Davis in the end, so it'll be a Haverfordwest free kick in their own 6-yard box. So, free kick for Haverford now to be taken by the goalkeeper, Rees. He sends it forward. Bodenham's under the first header. But he's put it out for a Haverfordwest throw in here. Luke Owen down to Humphreys. Humphreys forced back to Dylan Rees. It looks like he's going to be forced back to his goalkeeper. Here he is. The TNS press is good. Lewis Rees pumps it back forward. Bodenham heads it down into the midfield. Corners, first time flick into Isaac Jeffries. He flicks it on to Redmond, who eventually gets the ball on the floor here. Plays it forward onto the run of Isaac Jeffries. Macron, he's tracked him. He's got two blue shirts around him. It's a lovely reverse pass from him on to Redmond though. Good touch from him. Gets it across the box. It's bouncing everywhere. Lewis Rees can't collect it. It's eventually smothered and cleared. But I think Jordan Williams had fouled. Looks like Abrazese. I think it was. He has fouled Abrazese on the 6-yard box, so it'll be a free kick to Haverfordwest again. But again, just those runs through the midfield from TNS is causing chaos in the Haverfordwest box. I think they're starting to overload them a little bit in the midfield area. I think it's the legs of Danny Redmond and Dominic Corners who just get everywhere, and Ben Clark's been the more free-roaming midfielder, just drifting along the park here, and he's been really good at that, just popping up in the pockets. And then again, Ryan Brobble kind of just finds his way around the pitch. He just kind of, again, just drops into those pockets and just causes a little bit of chaos as he's being man-marked. It's just creating space for his teammates in other areas. As you see, Clark has space here to drive through the midfield again here. This time Corey Shepherd gets back quickly to stop him and to come away with the ball for the home side. Into Owain Jones, but the interception from Harrison Mackay. Greg Walters picks up the loose ball for the home side. Now to Abrazezi. His touch is loose, and Dan Williams comes away with it in the end and plays it back to Mackay. Mackay to Shepherd. Shepherd back to Mackay. Good play from TNS. And again, they'll play out from the back. Just under a minute left of normal time in this first half. Redmond coming forward the ball. Just looks like he might be limping a little bit. I'm not sure if he is, so that's just how Danny runs. But either way, he comes away with the ball here to Dan Williams. Dan Williams to Bodenham. Bodenham over to Redmond. Now it's with Ben Clark. Clark plays it forward, looking for the run of Dan Williams. Nice touch from him as well. Gets it back across the pitch. Shot from Dominic Corner, still looking for his first TNS goal. But it's saved again by Lewis Rees, who's made some really important saves. That one more was right at him. Dominic Corner did so well to even get onto it. I think he was just behind the ball in the end. So he's done well. He's stretching to get there. And it looks like Makarami has just fouled Ryan Brobble as we come into the 45th minute. And we've had 2 minutes of additional time here at the end of this first half. So TNS have a chance to maybe get a third here. So free kick again here for the New Saints. So Corners into the penalty area. Bodenham trying to get onto it. Looks like it's taken a little nick off of Jones. It has, and it goes out for a TNS corner with 1 minute to go here in the first half. So this might be the final action of the first half here. Corners into the back post. Bodenham jumping, but just couldn't get underneath the ball, and it'll go out for a goal kick with 20 seconds left of additional time. So I feel like this will be the final action of this first half. This goal kick here from Lewis Rees. Header's won by Dan Williams, who plays it against the Harrison Mackay's back, but it's eventually cleared by the New Saints. Greg Walters gets onto the second ball. Still, we continue to play here. Referee's letting the game go on a little bit. Redmond now. We're still going. And that is the half-time whistle there as I'm talking about it. It is currently TNS 2, Haverfordwest County 0, thanks to goals from Dan Williams with a really difficult finish. Actually got his body back across goal, just trickled into the bottom left corner, and then a second goal just 2 minutes later from Jordan Williams. A ridiculously good pass from Danny Redmond, absolute inch perfect through to Jordan Williams, who's one-on-one with Lewis Rees, who's made a lot of important saves in this first half, but he couldn't stop that first-time finish from the league's top goal scorer, and that has put TNS 2-0 up here as we go into half-time. But don't go anywhere, I will be back in just 15 minutes.
It's there! Against all the odds! Celebrations out on the pitch!
And yeah, it's white and green, you know what I mean. And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
And what a beautiful sight I've just seen.
And yeah, it's Champions League and you know what we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys
It's there against all the odds. Celebrations out on the pitch.
And yeah, it's white and green, you know what I mean. And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
And what a beautiful sight I've just seen.
And yeah, it's Champions League and you know what we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight. And don't be down and don't be such a mess. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
Against all the odds. Celebrations out on the pitch.
So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
It's there against all the odds. Celebrations out on the pitch.
And yeah, it's white and green, you know what I mean. And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the all boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads.
So welcome back everybody to this Cymru Premier game. Just as we see, the New Saints team are coming back out for this second half. It is currently 2-0 to the New Saints as they look to continue their 11-game winning run. Haverfordwest have really struggled to get into this game so far. TNS have been very dominant in possession, especially in the midfield, and I think there's been a lot of space for TNS's midfielders to come forward with the ball and just start to pick Haverfordwest apart a little bit. You can just see, not sure what the manager will say to the home side at half time, but I'm sure it'll be something along the lines of keep that midfield tighter than it has been. There's been a lot of space for TNS to exploit, and we saw that with the second goal. It just took one really, really good pass from Danny Redmond to completely break the lines of Haverfordwest through their midfield and through their defence for the runner Jordan Williams. It was just a lapse of concentration really from the Haverfordwest players, and just like that they're punished and 2-0 down. I think they also need to move the ball a little bit quicker in transition, because TNS have given the ball away a few times in this game, and there has been chances for Haverfordwest to break forward quickly, but they haven't capitalised on that. I think Dan Hawkins is going to be the one that's going to create the most problems in this game. But except for the first half sub of Scotland coming off for Humphreys, doesn't look like there's any changes to either team during the half-time interval. The only thing I can see is that Dan Hawkins and Luke Owen have switched sides for this half. So it'll be a Haverfordwest County kick-off to get this second half underway. And they look to drive forward straight away from kick-off onto Owen Jones. Jones back to Shepherd. Tries to nutmeg Harrison, the guy who stands up well to it, and Redmond comes away with the ball. The through ball from Ben Clark, looking for the run of Jordan Williams, but it's intercepted by Abrazese. However, Ben Clark's won it back here for the New Saints. Williams inside to Corners onto Ben Clark. It just holds it up there despite the overlapping run of Dan Williams. Corners spreads it, a lovely grass cutter to Danny Redmond. Redmond pushed when he's trying to put the ball into the box. Referee has no interest in giving the free kick, though I think that one was a little bit more blatant than the previous ones in the first half, but Redmond gets back to block the clearance. It's out for a throw-in, but it's pinned Haverfordwest in their own half here. So, thrown forward by Humphreys. Walters forced back to his goalkeeper. Jordan Williams looks to press him. It's cleared. Dan Williams heads it back into the midfield for Clark to get hold of. Corners, first time ball down the wing to Dan Williams. Really good ball from him as well. And it forces a corner out of Jones, who's sliding back desperately to clear it. So, corner early on in this second half for the New Saints. Again, it'll be that in-swinging corner from Corners. So it looks like it's gone back out for another corner. On the opposite side this time. So corner taken by Brobble, right on top of the goalkeeper, who punches it away. Clark puts it into the box. Header from Jordan Williams, and it's 3-0 to the New Saints. Early on in this second half, the one thing that Haverfordwest would have wanted to do is concede early, and that is what they've done here. Another goal coming from a set piece. I said earlier in the first half that TNS haven't scored many from these set pieces this season, but boy, they've made me eat my words. Jordan Williams now capitalises on it. The original corner from Brobble was punched away by the goalkeeper well. Ben Clark reacts to it first though. Just at the byline, puts a first time cross back into the box. Jordan Williams glancing header back across goal, just managed to get a good glance on it into the far corner, and it's 3-0 to the New Saints just like that. Jordan Williams gets his second goal and his 14th goal in the Cymru Premier this season. And Hawkins now for Haverfordwest County. Corey Shepherd shakes off Isaac Jeffries. Outside of the boot pass from him, switches it onto Abrazezi. It's blocked though by Ben Clark. Thrown forward, Dan Williams gets in the way of it though. Looks to clear it forward, but he's fouled on the way through. Sorry I'm laughing, it's just because he's taking a swing and a miss at the ball, but free kick to the New Saints, taken quickly by Dan Williams, and now it's with Cornus. He switches it out wide to Davis, who heads it first time into Redmond. Redmond back to Davis, lovely play between them. First time on to Isaac Jeffries, really good football, but his touch is heavy and it's played against him by the Haverfordwest captain Reese, and it'll go out for a goal kick. But really, really quick and slick football from TNS.
Just as well.
So, Reese's goal kick is just over the halfway line. Bothernham's underneath it though. Heads it back forward. Jordan Williams jumping with Reese. Loose ball bounces to Shepherd, but the referee's blown up. Sounded like he blew it for a free kick. It hasn't. It's a whistle from the crowd. And now Walters can come forward, plays it onto Shepherd, but it's just behind him. Cornus will pick up the loose ball. Clark will get it moving quickly again down the wing, looking for Jordan Williams, who's on a hat-trick. Takes himself a bit wide though. Puts it into the box. Macaron gets the way to it, bounces down to Ben Clark on the edge. Lays it off to Dan Williams, now to Isaac Jeffries. Jeffries out wide to Brobble. Brobble, first touch inside. Clips it into the back post. No one's there though, it's headed away by Jones. Cornus battling with Walters on the rebound. Walters throws Cornus away from the ball. Referee says no. And now there's a bit of space for County to break forward with Hawkins. Hawkins switches it back over to Walters, but the pass is just behind him and it'll slow down the attack. And TNS have got numbers back now. Abrazezi tries to put it into the box, blocked by Clark. Picked up by Harrison Mackay, and he plays it to Dan Williams, and the attack comes to an end as TNS have regained possession of the ball. Bothernham to Mackay. Mackay to Cornus. Cornus back to Mackay. Now it's with Shepherd to Bothernham. Bothernham. So Davis. Now it's with Redmond. Redmond plays it forward, looking for Ryan Brobble. Good tackle from Reese though. Corey Shepherd back to Dylan Reese. Plays it forward into the feet of Owen Jones. Nice little sidestep to get away from Cornus, and plays a really nice outside the boot ball to Dan Hawkins. Spread wide by Shepherd into the feet of Abrazezi, the overlapping left back. Goes inside to Hawkins. Bit of a shimmy from him to get away from Cornus. Back out wide to Abrazezi. He's forced behind him to Walters, being held up by Redmond. Now it's with Dan Hawkins, whose touch is loose. Macaron and Mitty will get onto the second ball. Back out wide to Abrazezi. Forward into Owen Jones's feet. First time round the corner, looking for Luke Owen, but Dan Williams, safety first, puts it out for a throw in to the home side. Corey Shepherd. Clips it to the halfway line, back to his captain, whose touch is loose. Good recovery from him though, and he steps past Redmond. Dan Hawkins, Corey Shepherd now to Humphreys. Humphreys tries to go up the line, but Danny Davis is in front of it. It's another throw in. He takes it quickly to Walters. Tries to play an over the top ball, looking for Owen Jones. Good touch from him, down to his captain. Tries to play a 1-2 with him, but it's intercepted by the New Saints, and Redmond will send it forward. Makara Mitty's onto it. The goalkeeper's there first and puts it out of the stadium. Safety first. You can hear his shout from North Wales. Commanding goalkeeping from Louis Rees, to say the least. So Jeffries is throwing back to Davis. Bodenham. Maguy. Clark. Maguy. Bodenham. Redmond coming forward. Tries to play it into the feet of corners, but it's intercepted, and Redmond's pulled up with an injury here, and he stayed down. That doesn't look good. He's going to force himself back to his feet. Just slightly makes his way back. He's holding his groin though, it looks like. Dan Hawkins with the ball. Hawkins. To Makara Mitty. Humphreys. Redmond still holding his groin. He's just come into the midfield here. Just got to keep an eye on him now. And there's a foul on Dan Hawkins, and that might allow Danny Redmond to get some treatment. Says he's okay though, to be fair. Very tough character, Danny Redmond. He's not going to go down without it being a serious injury, so I think he's going to try and play on here. I'm not sure if it's just a knock. Just looked like he'd overstretched a little bit trying to bring the ball down, but he seems to be fine now. So Hawkins into the box. Headers won first by Jones, but it's straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd, and that's the first real save he's had to make, the TNS number 1 so far in this game. There's a switch on if Robert can see it. He doesn't. He'll keep possession instead with Harrison Maguy. Now Bodenham to Redmond. Switches it out to Ben Clark. Clark to Maguy. Maguy up the line onto Dan Williams, who goes back to Maguy. Now he goes to Clark. Lovely dummy from, looked like Dominic Corners it was. They tried to find Ben Clark, but just too much on the pass from Jordan Williams, and it'll roll out for a Haverfordwest throw in right on the corner flag. Abrazesi sends it forward. Walters heads it back to him. Cleared by the left back. Jones flicks it on, but he's the last man, unfortunately, so Bodenham will just sweep up there. Big press from Corey Shepherd, but TNS play out easily, and that will leave a little bit of a hole in the midfield, but Shepherd's fit enough to get back as Corners comes away with the ball in the centre circle. Goes back to Bodenham. Bodenham first time to Maguy. Ben Clark on down the line to Danny Redmond, who's found himself in right wing. So Redmond to Bodenham. Back to Shepherd. Now it's back with Maguy. Maguy into Redmond. Redmond tries to drop the shoulder to get past Corey Shepherd, who reads it well and regains possession back for the home side. And so a really good pass down the line to Makranamiti, being held up by Brobble though. Gets a little bit of space, gets it into the box. It's a free header for corners to clear it. Shepherd brings it down. It's a really good play from Haverfordwest. Shepherd gets a shot away and it's 3-1. What a goal that is from the home side to reply. And it sent the stadium into an eruption, that goal. It just might add a bit of life into this game once more. It's actually a really good goal from Corey Shepherd. He started the move with a brilliant pass down the line to Makranamiti, but he finds himself regaining the ball, brings it down, flicks it over Corners' head. It's flicked on by Owen Jones. Shepherd continues running, beats Nathan Shepherd at his near post. The goalkeeper will be disappointed in himself not to save it. But a lovely bit of individual skill gets Haverfordwest back into this game, and it is now the Bluebirds 1, TNS 3. Just a little bit of a tap on the shoulder there from the home side to the New Saints, saying we're not out of this just yet. TNS will have to continue to work hard to get another goal in this game. So Magai intercepts the through ball towards Owen Jones. Now it's with Bodenham to Redmond. Through ball from Redmond onto the runner Danny Davis. Dylan Rees gets across to him though. Davis tries to put the cross back in, but the goalkeeper Louis Rees is off his line quickly. So Redmond to Bodenham. Back to Redmond. Out wide to Davis. First time ball down the wing. Makranamiti will hold Brobble off though. He's forced to put it out for a corner. So now it's with Ryan Brobble. 60 minutes gone in this game, half an hour to go. It's currently TNS 3, Haverfordwest County 1. Corner from Brobble, headed away by Walters. Ben Clark pitching the edge of the box, takes a deflection from the shot. The ref has given a handball. I think it's right on the edge of the box. I don't think it's a penalty, it is on the edge of the box. I think it's given it against Greg Walters for handball. I'd have to see a replay though to confirm that. But this free kick is very close to the edge of the box. You think it has to be Ryan Brobble to take this as the set piece expert in the TNS side. I think Jordan Williams would fancy it as well though, he's on a hat-trick. Corners has also stood over it. But I'd be very surprised if it isn't Ryan Brobble taking this free kick here. I think I'd be surprised if it doesn't end up in the back of the net too. It's a hard one though for a free kick taker. If it's so close, it's hard to get it up and over the wall. Big Brobble to take. Up, just over the bar. Again, it's one of them free kicks where it's just hard to get it to go up and over. But I can just see a triple change here in front of me for the home side. Makranamiti is going to be coming off for, if I can just get a good view of it, the number 19, Kyle Kenneford. Owen Jones, the number 20, is coming off for their top goal scorer, Ben Armoon. And the final substitution is the number 14, Luke Owen, is coming off for the number 15, Tom Shepherd. TNS are also making a change the captain, number 10, is going to be coming off for the number 77, Adam Wilson. Just trying to, I think it'll be Ryan Brobble dropping into the midfield. Adam Wilson will go on to the left-hand side. Redmond's just come off. I think it's from that earlier knock. Just think they don't want to risk their captain. So Adam Wilson will come on the right-hand side, actually. Then Brobble's dropped into the midfield. Isaac Jeffries staying on the left wing. Greg Walters flicks it on. Bodenham will track it all the way, though. So, Maguire coming forward. Adam Wilson, the substitute, driving forward straight away and wins a free kick in a really dangerous area again. Instant impact from the substitute, Adam Wilson. And Greg Walters is booked for the privilege. It's a bit further out this time again. I don't know who's going to hit this. I wonder if they'll hit it or they'll put it into the box. I think it's too central to really deliver a good ball into the box. But Dan Williams just stood completely free on the right wing, whether they want to play it short to him. But I think Brobble will fancy the shot from here. Just gives it a little bit more distance to get it up and over. Cornish is also lining it up. But Brobble takes it up and over, and it's a great save from Lewis Rees. I think it's a comfortable one in the end. I think he read it well, but pushed it out for a corner. Again, the Ryan Brobble free kick is always dangerous from that sort of distance. Gets it up and over really well, Ryan Brobble. Just probably not quite enough power to really trouble the goalkeeper. But he did force Lewis Rees into the save. So the corner is here from Dominic Cornish. On top of the goalkeeper, I think it was headed clear by Jones. It was. And it'll go out for a corner on the opposite side this time. Ryan Brobble now with the captain's armband on will take this set piece. Just see TNS's substitutes, Jack Nadine, Adrian Sizlovic and Harvey Godsmack forward warming up. Cornish drops in to get the short corner. Plays a 1-2 with Brobble to let him get it back into the box. Right on top of the goalkeeper, who comes out well to claim it. Dylan Rees. Hawkins just misses out on the ball, and it'll be picked up by Dominic Cornish, and possession will start again with the New Saints. Dan Williams now. He spreads it wide to Adam Wilson. The substitute Shepherd gets onto him quickly, but Wilson will come inside. Gets it onto Cornish. Now with Ben Clark. Ben Clark back to Dominic Cornish. Goes back into Clark. Clark, first time back to Maguire. It's patient build-up from TNS. It's good football as well as keeping the ball moving. Adam Wilson now going one-on-one with Greg Walters down the wing. Little Ronaldo tries to get inside. Lovely play from the substitute. Gets it to the edge of the box with Dan Williams. Gets his shot away. It takes a deflection, which takes all the sting out of it. Off of Tom Shepherd into the hands of the goalkeeper. He rolls it out to Humphreys. Goes up the line, looking for the run of Ben Armoun. Bodenham's there though and cuts it back to his goalkeeper. Harrison Maguire should be the next one to take the ball. He does. TNS play out from the back here well. Sent forward by Dan Williams onto the run of Jordan Williams. Cleared first time by Jones. Puts it into the trees behind the stands. Dan Williams. Maguire. Jordan Williams now. Ben Clark. Forward towards Isaac Jeffries. Being held up by Humphreys and eventually forces him out for Haverfordwest throw-in, so it's good defending from the substitute from the first half. Thrown up by Abrazazi. Sorry, Shepherd that was. Back with the goalkeeper now. His kick is more up than out, but it's going to make it just behind the halfway line. Davis jumping with Corey Shepherd. Eventually wins it back for TNS. Botherdom falls back to his goalkeeper. Shepherd plays a 1-2 with him. There's 3 Shepherds on the pitch, which is really confusing. Dan Williams clips the ball over the top, looking for Adam Wilson. Little Neymar touch from him. It's really good play. Unfortunately, Tom Shepherd just ushers him out for a goal kick, but Adam Wilson looks to be really enjoying himself off the bench here. Humphreys now sends it forward. Botherham's shirt being pulled by Armoon, but the linesman says no. Corners tries to pick up the loose ball, gets it up the line, intercepted by Kyle Kenneford. Isaac Jeffries gets there though, he's strong, and now he can drive away with the ball. Greg Walters wins it back though for Haverfordwest. It's a bit scrappy now this game in the last couple of minutes. Humphreys goes back to Jones, Jones to Walters. Now it's back with Jones. No, Kenneford first time to midfield for Hawkins. He's forced back to Dylan Reese. Reese up the line to Humphreys. Humphreys first time to Walters in midfield. Walters now onto Corey Shepherd, who's just dropped into the pocket there to receive the ball. Plays it through to Reese Abrazazi, but Nathan Shepherd's quick off his line to stop that. And rolls it out quickly too. Dan Williams can get the attack underway for TNS now. A little bit of a transition here. Plays it forward to Adam Wilson. Being held up by Tom Shepherd. Forced back to go back behind the halfway line to Harrison Mackay. Now it's with Ben Clark. Clark tries to get it up the line towards Adam Wilson. It eventually falls to him, but he gives the ball away. Mackay slots it forward, but it's a loose pass from the centre-back. Dylan Reese, though, dilly-dallying with the ball, and eventually it's going to go out, it looks like, for a corner. No, the referee's flagged for a foul against Jordan Williams. I think it's harsh on the centre-forward. He's just trying to win the ball there. But it is a free kick, but there'll be 2 substitutions now for the New Saints. The number 19, Ben Clark, is going to be coming off for the number 3, Jordan Marshall. And it looks like Isaac Jeffries is going to be coming off as well. He's making his way off the pitch for the number 11, Adrian Sizlovich. Both played very well today. Ben Clark has been everywhere. You can see that he's also clean shaven as well in his efforts, as he usually does for Movember. So, the experienced Adrian Sizlovich is on the pitch now. Walters comes forward, gets it into Ben Armoon's feet. First time out to Hawkins. Hawkins gets it, tries to get it into Corey Shepherd's feet, but now the first touch for Sizlovich. Plays it back to Mackay. Mackay gets it on to Davis. Davis back to Mackay, and they go back to the goalkeeper, Shepherd. So his pass is slightly loose, but there's no pressure on the receiver, Jack Bothernham, so it's now back with Shepherd. I think TNS with just under 20 minutes left here at the Oggy Bridge Stadium. Oh, sorry, the Ogie Bridge Meadow Stadium. I just want to keep the ball here in the last 15 minutes or so. The ball's played forward to Brobble from Harrison Mackay. Good pass from the centre half. Brobble's forced out wide, so he cuts it back to Davis instead at right back. Davis is going to make his way back across. I think Danny Davis is stepping to midfield actually, from what I can see, or no, it'll be Dan Williams' step back into midfield, but Danny Davis is kind of playing as a free roam at the moment. But now it's just Sizlovich to Marshall. goes back behind the halfway line for Cornish, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Shepherd now to Maguire. Now it's with Bodenham. Marshall now. Forced back to his goalkeeper. You can hear Adrian Sizovic telling the team to keep the ball moving. As we hit the 73rd minute here, it's still 3-1 to the New Saints. Maguire, again back to his goalkeeper. It's like watching a game of FIFA this. Shepherd gives the ball away though to Reece Abrazezi. And now Haverfordwest might be able to break on the edge of the TNS box into Ben Armoon's feet, the big man. Gets it to Corey Shepherd. Shepherd to Hawkins. Hawkins forced all the way back to the halfway line by the TNS press. Dylan Reese gets it forward to Corey Shepherd though. Hawkins again. Dylan Reese. Reese to Walters. Walters first time to Corey Shepherd. Plays it forward to Walters again. To Ben Armoon, but he was offside. He puts it in the back of the net anyway, but that's just a let off for TNS. Just a bit sloppy in terms of winning the ball back there. Just slow to react to the movement of the Haverfordwest attack. Luckily, Ben Armoon found himself in an offside position when the ball was played. So free kick to TNS was taken by Shepherd short to Bodenham. So now Maguire. Up to Adam Wilson. Wilson being held up by Tom Shepherd. Back to Maguire. Maguire first time back to Nathan Shepherd, the goalkeeper. He plays it on to Bodenham. He'll come forward with the ball now, Jack Bodenham. Jordan Williams made a good run off the ball, but he hasn't seen it, so he's gone short to Brobble. Brobble back to the halfway line for Cornish. That's with Shepherd. Shepherd back to Cornish. Inside to Jack Bodenham. Just trying to... There's a bit of a press on from Haverfordwest. TNS trying to play themselves into a little bit of trouble here, but they got out of it. It's Greg Walters pressing. Now it's with Dan Williams in the midfield. The overlapping run from Jordan Marshall is found by Dan Williams, but Dan Hawkins tracks him well. Marshall looking to win the ball back. It's with Corey Shepherd now. It's going to be cleared by Humphreys. Maguire, first time, but he's played it a little bit behind Jordan Marshall, but he does get back. Well, it's a nasty elbow from, looked like an elbow from Corey Shepherd. Referee's seen nothing there though. Right across the face of Jordan Marshall, it's just in front of me in the commentary box. I can't believe the linesman hasn't seen that. It looked like a nasty one. Nothing given. Surprised there's not been more protests from the TNS players or bench, but I might have been the only person that saw it, or I've seen it wrong, but it looked like an elbow. I think Jordan Marshall's certainly feeling the after effects as it's gone out for a corner on the far side. So, Cornish' corner into the front post, headed away by Armoon. Cornish brings it back down, puts it back into the box, now towards the back post. Brobble's header, it's a good save by Lewis Reese. Comfortable save from the goalkeeper, but he's made so many today, the Haverfordwest, number 31 in goal. He's really kept them in this, that's why it's only 3-1 so far. Just getting a replay here of that collision. I just want to see if it was an elbow or not here. Corey Shepherd comes across. He does lead with the elbow. It's a horror tackle. I can't believe the referees haven't seen it. He does just go very cynical with his elbow. For me, that is a straight red card, but nothing's been given and no one's appealed for it. I feel like I'm the only person in the stadium that's seen it. I think that's one of the most blatant red cards I've seen for a very long time. I'm the only one in the stadium that said it. But play goes on. Marshall, I think, is trying to leave one on him now. Unsurprisingly, really. I'm actually very surprised Jordan Marshall's back on his feet and playing after the contact from that. So Hawkins' flick on towards Ben Armoun. Corey Shepherd now picks the ball up. Again, Marshall just leaves one on him again. I think there's going to be a feisty affair between the two of them in the last 15 minutes or so. So Adam Wilson clips it over the top for the runner, Danny Davis. Lovely cut back to get away from Abrazeze. He might get the shot alone here with his left foot. Gets his shot away, and it's just wide of the post. Looked like it might have gone in from my angle, but goes out for a goal kick. Lovely back heel from Corey Shepherd onto the run of Kyle Kenneford, but held off well by Dan Williams. Corners. It's Jordan Williams now. Onto Jordan Marshall. Marshall to Sizlovic. Now Brobble on the left wing area. Inside to the midfield. To Corners. Corners back to the halfway line for Maguy, sorry. Now with Danny Davis at right back. Dan Williams has tucked into midfield, his natural position, as he receives the ball here. Boddenham back to Sizlovic. Now Maguy onto Adam Wilson. Wilson cuts inside of his man Tom Shepherd, continues to drive forward. It's a really good run from him, and he just leaves. I think his momentum takes him into Jones, and he's going to get himself a booking. I don't know how that's a booking, and the one from Corey Shepherd isn't anything, but that is football for you. So free kick on the edge of the Haverfordwest box to the home side. Dylan Reese, lovely little crook turn to get away from Jordan Williams. I thought for a second he overran it then. It's back with Jones. Jordan Williams will continue his press and Jones will clear it up the line. Maguy wins the first ball, but it's picked up by Greg Walters. Loose in the midfield, back to his captain Reese. Spreads it out wide to Humphreys. Humphreys up the line looking for Dan Hawkins. Jordan Marshall holding him off. Now it's with Greg Walters outside the boot. Ball Trivella, first time into the box by Cal Kenneford. Intercepted by Ben Armoun. Looked like there was a foul there, not given. Jordan Marshall gets back up from the contact. It's won back by Haverfordwest though. Onto the halfway line, Jones slips trying to clear it. Humphreys will continue possession for the home side, but a poor touch from Kenneford, and he puts it out for a throw in just to, you see Craig Harrison telling his team just to slow the game down a little bit, take the sting out of this, because the home side have got belief here in the last 9 minutes or so they can get back into this game. Still 3-1 to the New Saints. So now back with Nathan Shepherd for the New Saints. Danny Davis. To Jack Boddenham. To Marshall. Marshall back to Boddenham. No, Danny Davis now. Maguy up the line to Adam Wilson. Lovely reverse step over, great feet from him, but it looks like he's just done too much, but he's managed to get it to Brobble, to be fair to him. Great skill from the number 77, as much as he hates that shirt number. Now it's with Dan Williams. Sizlovic to Boddenham, being pressed behind from Ben Armoun, but Sizlovic manages to get it back to his goalkeeper. Might have to go long here due to the press. He doesn't, he plays it short to Sizlovic. Back to his goalkeeper. And it's cross the box to Maguy. Good play from TNS as we hit the 82nd minute. Harrison Maguy driving forward. Tries to slot it through to Jordan Williams. Good tackle from Jones. Maguy looks to get back onto it. Ball given away again by Haverfordwest. Danny Davis gets onto it and plays it to Boddenham. Spread out to Marshall now. Down the line to Brobble, who's got a bit of space now. The overlap is from Marshall. Doesn't use him though. Goes back to Sizlovic. First time to Marshall this time. He'll look to get a cross in. Does deliver in the end. Adam Wilson at the back post, and he just can't get the right connection on it. Still looking for his first goal since returning back to the club. And that was a golden opportunity, the best one he's had yet. And I think he might have hurt himself during it. He's gone down injured. It's a really, really good run from Jordan Marshall to beat his man and get it into the box. And Wilson just doesn't get his shot right. But he's gone down with an injury here, and I don't think it looks good for Adam. As the physio just comes onto the pitch, it looks like they'll probably make a change here. It doesn't look good. Normally when a player goes down without contact, it never looks good. Don't know whether he's twisted his hip or something going for that ball. So it looks like Adam Wilson's coming off for Jack Nadine. It's a shame to see him come off the pitch injured, the Kenyan international. So the substitute Adam Wilson comes off after not much longer than 15 minutes, and Jack Nadine will come onto the pitch for the final 6 minutes of this game. So Jack Nadine comes on. Played forward into Corey Shepherd's feet for Haverfordwest. Hawkins back to Humphreys. Into Dylan Rees. Rees to Walters. I'd imagine there's going to be a chunk of added time now due to that injury. Played forward. Harrison Mackay intercepts. Bit of a loose touch from him. Davis has to deal with the second ball, which he does up the line towards Jordan Williams. Walters forced to go home due to the press. Jordan Williams screaming at the goalkeeper as he clears it. Doesn't put him off though, the goalkeeper manages to clear it up the pitch. Humphreys comes away with the ball. It's been blown back for a Haverfordwest throw in. Reese's throw in into Walters. Walters back to Kennethford. Gets it onto the number 5 Jones. Just over four minutes left of this game. Yet to see how much added time there will be from the 4th official. Played forward by Walters. Sizlovic now. Gives the ball away though. Corey Shepherd. Into the feet of Tom Shepherd. Great ball into the box for Ben Armoon. He was offside anyway. His header, he didn't get it right. He heads it instead onto the shin of Jack Nadin, whose deflected block takes it onto the post. Just a bit of bite your nails moment for TNS there temporarily, but Ben Armoon is offside. He is as well. It does look offside. Plays it against Jack Nadin. Would have been a disaster start for him coming onto the pitch to score an own goal in the first 2 minutes of his appearance, but luckily it didn't go that way, and it is still 3-1 to the New Saints. Corners now. So Mackay has got to send it long, which he does, onto Jordan Williams. Jones gets there, but he's headed it straight to Danny Davis. Drop of the shoulder from him to come inside. Gets it onto Jack Nadin. Nadin back to Corners. Now with Marshall. Marshall onto Nadin again. Out wide to Ryan Brobble. Goes back to Corners. Bodenham into Dan Williams' feet. Williams tries to get it wide to Jordan Marshall, but he puts it just behind the left back, and it'll go out for a throw in. Harrison Maguire just deals with that through ball, and it's back to the goalkeeper. Now, Jordan Williams works hard to get the ball back for the New Saints. Played down the left wing to Jack Nadin. He's going to be pressed by Humphreys. It's 24 versus 24. Goes back to Jordan Marshall. Just over 2 minutes left of normal time. I apologise for any noises. There's a drum right next to the microphone. So Maguire, Shepherd, back to Maguire. Sent forward by him. Flicked on by Jordan Williams. It's a really good move this from TNS. As Danny Davis gets it into the box. He just put too much on the cross though. And it'll go all the way out for a throw in to the home side and on the far side. Humphreys in a rush to get going here with 1 minute left of normal time, just over. Now it's with Walters in the right back area of Haverfordwest's half. Tries to clear it, Brobble slides to block it. Humphreys, Kenneford, now it's with Walters. Sends it forward into Ben Armoon's feet. He flicks it into the midfield, but Danny Davis will intercept onto Jack Nadin. Nadin to Brobble. Brobble clips it all the way back to his goalkeeper. It's a bit of a risky pass from Brobble. Goalkeeper deals with it though. And Dan Williams 50-50 with Kenneford, who comes out with the ball. Abrazezi plays it back to Reese. He clips it over the top looking for Corey Shepherd. Good header though from Jordan Marshall, recovering from it. Thrown into Greg Walters' feet. Back with Dan Hawkins. You'd have to say in the last 15 minutes or so, Haverfordwest have been on the front foot. Abrazezi gets the ball out. It bounces out. Ben Armoon's in here. Can he make it 3-2? He does. It is 3-2 just on the 90th minute. Ben Armoon gets his 6th goal of the Cymru Premier season, and this is going to be a very, very shaky last couple of minutes of stoppage time for the New Saints. 4 minutes added on here. Could Haverfordwest turn this around? It originally deflects off of Ben Armoon from Abrazezi's shot. He goes round the goalkeeper and taps it in. Jack Botherham tried his best to get back off the line, but he couldn't clear it. It's just such a simple goal from Haverfordwest. It's scrappy from TNS, and as I was saying, Haverfordwest have definitely been the better side in the last 20 minutes or so. So now you'd think Haverfordwest will be right up for this game. Last 4 minutes, they've got to chuck everything at it. TNS have got to stay composed here. So Reese driving forward. So Hawkins. So Kenneford now gets it onto Jones. So Humphreys. So Kenneford gets it onto Jones. 2.5 minutes left of stoppage time here. Jones will send it all the way forward. Marshall's got to deal with it at the back post. He's forced to head it out for a corner. This is exactly what they would have wanted. I don't think he realised how much time he had. He could have just seen it out for a goal kick. So, corner from Abrazezi here for Haverfordwest. Puts it into the front post, flicked on by Humphreys. It's still not clear. Ben Armoon still not clear. Hawkins gets it down. Humphreys heads it back to Corey Shepherd. Back out wide to Abrazezi. He puts the cross into the box now. Bouncing everywhere. It's going to bounce at the back stick, and Nathan Shepherd is there to collect it. And the New Saints can breathe momentarily. It looked for a second there that Haverfordwest were going to complete the comeback there. Shepherd just actually never caught the ball. He kept it under his chest. Smart goalkeeping really. He's take a few seconds off the clock. Sends it forward. Humphreys gets there first. Headed on by Abrazezi. Dylan Reese flicks it on to Ben Armoun, who could be in here. Harrison Mackay looks to have brought him down. Referee says no though. Massive protest from Ben Armoun. The game continues. Jones on Jordan Williams' back, who holds his head. Referee has to stop the game for a head injury. To booking for Ben Armoun, still arguing with officials. I think he's been booked already from that for dissent. I'd have to be honest, I might have to tend to agree with the Haverfordwest centre forward. I did think it was a foul, but the referee said no. It's a free kick though against Jordan Williams, and it'll give Louis Rees one last chance to pump this forward. 25 seconds left in normal time. I think it'll be a little bit more though due to that stoppage. Armoun jumping, gets the first head, bounces down to Dan Hawkins, plays it into the box. Walters gets there first. I think he's managed to just keep it in. Jordan Marshall comes away with the ball though and will clear it onto Ryan Brobble. Brobble plays it against Kenneford and he'll win a throw in for TNS. Manages to play their way out of danger. We have just gone past the 4th minute of stoppage time. I don't know how much more time the referee will add on. Yeah, taking a time with his throw in. Marshall sends it up the line. Dylan Reese will send it back forward, but that is the full-time whistle. It finishes TNS 3, Haverfordwest 2. TNS come away with the 3 points despite a late surge from Haverfordwest to come back into this game. A lot of controversial decisions. I thought the goals thrown in the second half, lovely header from Jordan Williams first of all, an even better goal from Corey Shepherd, individual brilliance from him. Ben Armoun with a scrappy goal in the 90th minute to send this into a thriller. But a lot of controversial decisions from the officials. First one, Corey Shepherd with a very blatant elbow on Jordan Marshall. I thought it was a red card and I thought I was the only one that saw it at the stadium. And then whether it was a foul at the end or not from Mackay on Armoun. Armoun still isn't happy about it on the full-time whistle, but referee didn't give it, and it finishes TNS 3, Haverfordwest 2. TNS extend their winning run now to 12 games, and you will see me back for cup game action on Tuesday night. Everybody enjoy your Saturday afternoons.
Maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. Don't be down and don't be you make.